What up, people? Everybody out there on YouTube. This is Kent. I'm making another YouTube video for you guys, and this is going to be a very realistic topic that I'm going to speak on this evening in this video. Okay, what I want to talk about in this video is that there's nothing wrong with crying. All right, you know, this is something something brought this to my attention, man. Because I was watching a movie, right? You know, there was, crying and stuff like that. And, a lot of people want to make a big deal. If you cry, if a guy cries, then you're weak, you're a pussy, you're a faggot, you're a sissy, and all this crap. All right? And here's the thing I need to address, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on this earth cries, all right? Everybody on this earth has feelings. Everybody on this earth has emotions. All right, you see what I'm saying? It really gets on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody cries, because sometimes I cry. I cry out of sadness. I can't remember the last time I cried out of happiness. Probably, the last time I graduated high school, I cried out of happiness. But I cried out of sadness. And I cry, sometimes during movies and stuff like that. When you watch a movie, when you watch a movie and you're so deep into the movie, you're so focused into the movie, you know what I'm saying? If it's like a happy ending or a romantic ending or something like that, then you start crying or something like that. That happens to me, right? Because I remember one time in the 11th grade, right? I was watching a movie. I don't know if you guys remember the movie called The 60s. It's called The 60s, all right? The movie was made in 1999 with Charles Dutton, some other people. That movie made me cry. Because I don't know if you guys know the actor Charles Dutton. He played as a reverend, right? This was during the LA riots and all that time. This story was based in the 60s and all that stuff, and the LA riots and all that stuff. When I watched that movie, man, it was during the LA riots, and the reverend's son, he was, trying to be like a criminal, breaking windows and stealing TVs and all that stuff, man. And I see the reverend running, and everybody else is acting stupid in the riots and stuff like that. And he said, put it down, son. Put the TV down, wherever he had. I forgot. I don't know if it was a TV or some type of, or a VCR or something he had. And he had a gun in his hand or something like that. I think he took the gun from somebody else or something like that. He was an innocent dude. And right, and the cop behind him said freeze, like this, with a gun. He turned, and the guy turned, and the reverend of the church turned around, and the cop went and shot him, man. That video, it really, that I started crying right there, man. It was in my history class in the 11th grade. I remember watching it. I started crying because that cop shot him, man. Because I cry when something happens in movies too, man. Like if somebody dies or something like that, in the movie or something, like anything, you know what I'm saying? You start crying and stuff like that. I cry, sometimes, if, man, maybe if you're in church or something like that, you may be crying out of joy. You could be filled with the Holy Spirit and all that stuff. Sometimes I cry because, I be so depressed and stuff like that. I just feel so worthless and things like that. My times where I feel down and out and things like that. So I feel depressed and sad, but I just there's nothing wrong with crying, people. You know what I'm saying? I get so sick and tired of people saying that, oh, if you're a guy, if you're a guy, you're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be a man. Man up. You know what I'm saying? Quit being a little punk. Quit being a little pussy. Quit being a little faggot and all that crap, all right? Here's my thing. There's nothing wrong with crying, all right? There's nothing wrong with crying, man. I cry all the time, man. So people, and I get so sick and tired of these stuck-up females. They be saying, "Oh, you cry? Oh, you're lame, or you're a punk, you're a pussy, you're a faggot," and all this stuff, man. There's nothing wrong with crying, man. There's nothing wrong with crying. I feel, you know, so you're going to call me a punk? You're going to call me a pussy? You're going to call me a faggot? You're going to call me a little girl? You're going to call me a little sissy because I have feelings? It's okay for a man to have feelings. I'm a human being just like everybody else. See that gets on my nerves, man, when people think, oh, you cry, man, you're weak, man. You gotta be strong, man up. So you're trying to say that it's not okay for a man to have feelings? Men have feelings too. And that's what these stuck-up females, especially these so stuck-up, stupid females, need to understand. That a man has feelings too. A man has emotions too. A man cries too. I really feel this way, man. I really feel this way. You know, if you're a guy out there, you know what I'm saying? What I was gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna mention, man. You know, if you're a guy, here I was gonna say, if you're a person out there, if you're a male or female, you know, if you're a person out there, male or female, and you say that you don't cry, or you don't cry at all, you never cried in your whole entire life. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you never cried in your life, or you never cried at all, then obviously, sad for me to say this, all I can say this is that you're not human. You're not a human being if you don't cry. Sad to say, man. I really feel that, you know, so people see that, you know, if a guy cries, they show that as a sign of weakness. You know, a guy who shows emotions, you know what I'm saying? A guy who's crying in tears, a guy who shows emotions, it shows feelings, you know what I'm saying? They feel as for a guy, that's a sign of weakness. And here's the double standard of it. You know, it's okay for a girl to cry and show emotions and show feelings because she's a weaker vessel, but it's not okay for a guy to show feelings, all right, and emotions, because he's a man. He's not supposed to cry. He's supposed to be the stronger vessel. I feel that's a load of BS. That's a load of crap right there, man. That's a load of crap. I feel that if you don't cry, because I'm sure everybody, man, everybody on this earth has cried, you know, in their life. You can't deny that. Don't deny it. Everybody on this earth has cried. All right. If any of you stupid trolls gonna come under my video and say, "Oh, I don't cry," then you're not a human being. That's all I can say. You're not a human being, and you're delusional. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, you know, there's nothing wrong with crying, man. If a guy shows emotions, if a guy shows feelings, man, people see that's a sign of weakness, man. And that's the double standard, man. That it's okay for a girl to cry because, you know, here's the thing. Here's the double standard. Here's the exact double standard, man. Let's say if a girl cries, all right, and she cries, you know, she's very emotional and all that stuff, and everybody gonna say, it's okay, Sally, it's okay, Maria, it's okay, Amy, and all that stuff. But if a guy cries, they say, oh, man up, Dwayne, man up, Joseph, man up, John, man up, Kent. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a man up. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to say it's not okay for a guy to have feelings, but it's okay for a woman to have feelings? That's a double standard that favors women, man. And that's stupid. And people want to tell me, oh, Kent, you have to accept the double standards in America. I don't gotta accept nothing. I ain't gotta accept crap. That's just my opinion. Okay? You don't have to agree with me, man. I get tired of stupid people saying, oh, you cry, man. You a pussy. You're a faggot. You're a wimp. You're a little girl. You're a little sissy. Stop whining. So I'm all these things that you call me just because I have feelings. Just because I have emotions. That's a bunch of BS right there, man. That's a bunch of crap. And I encourage you guys, I hope I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm sure I'm going to have quite a few people agree with me in this video. Is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with crying at all, man. Because that shows that, you know, you have feelings. That shows that you have emotions. You have emotions. And I really feel that if a person cries, they're the stronger person. If a person who doesn't cry, which is not a human being, they're the weaker person. If you're a person out there and you cry, you know, maybe you may lost a loved one, maybe, you know, your girlfriend and your boyfriend that made it broke up with you, or maybe you're watching a movie or something like that, a depressing movie, who knows, man, and you cry, you know what I'm saying, or you cry out of joy, and people think that's a sign of weakness. Man, most people in this world are just, you know, delusional, man. People in this world are just delusional. You know, it's ridiculous, man. And there's nothing wrong with crying, man. There's nothing wrong with it at all. There's nothing wrong with showing feelings. There's nothing wrong with showing emotions, man. For real, though. This is real talk, all right? I'm keeping it real with you guys. This is real talk, okay? I'm not being funny or nothing in this video. This is straight up real talk, okay? I'm all about real talk. You know, up here on my YouTube channel, I'm all about real talk. All right. Man, but people just think that crying is a sign of weakness. Crying is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotion. It's a sign of feelings. I feel if a person who cries, they're a strong person for crying, for letting out their feelings, man. You know, man. But, you know, don't cry over little petty stuff, you know what I'm saying? How, you know what I'm saying, let's say for an example, a car ran over a spider and you start crying, or a car ran over a butterfly and you start crying, you know what I'm saying? And that's something petty. I'm just using an example, man. I'm sure 9 times out of 10 nobody's gonna cry about some stupid crap like that, little petty crap. But now I can understand, you know, if you have, you know, if you like your dog gets killed or something like that, your dog or cat gets hit by a car, you know, yeah, you can cry, you know. I can't, you know, obviously you guys saw my previous video that I have a dog, you know what I'm saying? If my dog, you know, if my dog died, I would cry too. You know what I'm saying? I would cry. I would be heartbroken if I lost my dog, because I had that dog for 12 years, almost 12 years. I had that dog, man. I had that dog. I love that dog more than anything, man. That dog is my family. That dog is part of my family. All right. But anyways, man, there's nothing wrong with crying. And I really wish that all these, especially these old stuck-up females and any stupid delusional guy out there who thinks that crying is a sign of weakness. You're stupid. You're stupid and you're delusional, and that's a bunch of bull crap. There's nothing wrong with crying. At least I have emotions and I have feelings, unlike you, who sit around and hide your emotions and hide your feelings because you're afraid that people are gonna think that you're weak. I'm not afraid to show my emotions and feelings on my YouTube, in my YouTube videos, on my channel. If I actually start crying in tears in the future, possibly on my YouTube channel, I'm not ashamed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I feel deep down for myself, I feel that I'm a strong person for letting out my feelings, letting out my emotions, because I'm a human being, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who thinks that crying is a sign of weakness, they could go jump off a bridge, man. Go jump off a bridge, man. Seriously. And let the sharks eat you alive. Go jump off a bridge. Let the sharks eat you alive, man. But that's all I gotta say in this video, man. This is Kent signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. That's all I gotta say. Peace.